Now we have a vast potential in the case of Facebook to monetize that huge database of 1 billion people or even more, which will increase probably to 1.5 billion people or so over the next few years. And Facebook so far only used monetization, or primarily with advertising, with clicks. And that's one way of monetizing a database, but there are, even in advertising, there are many, many more avenues of making that valuable database, turn them, the users, into dollars. Now, when we talk about monetization of the database in advertising, for instance, right now it's not really exhausted, or it's not really used the way Facebook could actually use the database. Meaning, on Facebook we know it's a social network and we interact, with one another, we share things. But whenever there's the element of sharing things with other people, there's also the element of the desire to say, well, see, I bought this and I got this, and I was there, and look at this cool stuff. And at that moment, you have the possibility to monetize on it. Now, advertising cannot be intrusive. It has to be complementary to the experience. And so it represents a benefit. And let's look at it. For instance, we can use non-intrusive rollover, I don't want to call them pop-ups, but rollover windows that show up at the option of the user. Now, when somebody says I was in Las Vegas, then, for instance, we could have, and they roll over that link, instead of a Wikipedia picture or a city picture specific, we could have windows on the side that already offer coupons to hotels, coupons to restaurants, and other things, or advertising just to those places, And that makes the experience much easier, because otherwise we have to go to some travel site and figure that out. Now, Facebook has the opportunity, for instance, in the case of travel, to hook up with other travel sites, and like Travelocity or Expedia or Orbitz or whatever, or Priceline. And instead of just getting advertising dollars for a click, they could start getting into revenue sharing in that way and monetize the database in that regard. So advertising can become very specific, meaning like geographically specific. Like when we say Las Vegas, okay, that's one area, but we can, people live in Las Vegas in different zip codes and in every other city. So we can localize that area, and within that vicinity, we could have ads from restaurants, from shops, from stores, all with rollover windows on the side that are not intrusive but are complementary at the option of the user. And therefore, okay, utilize the click advertising, that's fine. But the other thing is starting the monetization and revenue sharing. If somebody buys a coupon or whatever, then we just, Facebook could have a revenue share of that. A minute, could be a few percentage points, I don't know. Just like in travel, basically, where you buy an airplane ticket on Travelocity, and you just, Travelocity gets 5% or 10%, depending on the model. Or, again, it could be Priceline, Expedia, or whatever in travel. Now, we have people who share, for instance, their meals at certain restaurants. Why not monetize that specific restaurant immediately? Not just through ads, that's one way, but possibly through a revenue share model. Now, Facebook, when they utilize all those aspects, they could literally, their revenue could go through the roof. And it's not a $40 billion company, it's at least worth $200 billion, just like Google. And I think Facebook ultimately has much more potential than Google, unless Google steps into the Facebook arena, which they're trying to do with Google Plus and so forth. But let's say Facebook, which is very easy to use, people go there every day, they go through the messages from their friends, and they read what their friends share. Right now there's vacation time. Lots of people are on vacation. What an opportunity to monetize a special locale, a trip, a way to get there, rental cars, restaurants, hotels, airlines, and not just through ads, but through the revenue share model, and that can be figured out. but it goes much further. For instance, I just bought a new car a week ago, and I wanted to share that model. All I got is a Wikipedia page for that specific model, or the manufacturer. I could link to that and share with my friends, I bought this brand of car, this make, and this model. But instead of just letting it go and have no recourse, we could have very simply, people could get completely informed about that model based on the information provided, for instance, by the manufacturer, at the same time hook them up to a dealer, or already offer like a $500 cashback or whatever. That's where the monetization comes in. Obviously, it's a Facebook coupon or via Facebook, and Facebook, instead of just getting a click, 50 cents, a dollar, or whatever on the advertising dollar, they could get like maybe a $50, $100 finder's fee, or from the revenue share model. It's very simple. But it goes further. People buy electronics, people buy houses. Now, houses is another way, that we're going to discuss. For instance, on real estate, we have cities. People say where they were born, where they live right now, where they've moved, and so forth. So instead of just linking again to Wikipedia or informational page about that locale, we could have realtors, for instance, on a window rollover link, and the window pops up or is available to the user that wants as a convenience, and go to that realtor who has an offering in that city, or builders that have brand new homes. Again, it could be an advertising monetization, or you have the revenue share model monetization, which is a possibility for Facebook. So there's all those little intricate details, and we can become very specific in advertising. Again, not intrusive, but only complementary for those users who are interested in getting more information about a product, about a locale, about a certain location. I mean, just in general, so that we can, or a certain product. Like for instance, if you buy a house, you'd like to show off your bathroom, and there's certain faucets, or there's a certain jacuzzi tub, or whatever. That can all be monetized, and not again in an intrusive way, but in a complementary way for those users who are interested in knowing about it. I'm usually interested when people recommend something and they said they were at a certain place. I'm interested. What are the hotels there? What does it cost to get there? Or if somebody buys a certain house, I'm interested. How much do they pay for the house, or how much does this neighborhood cost? And it does not need to be intrusive to the privacy. I mean, the user can control that anyway, but it's just something that Facebook is actually, that's the way it is. We share things. And why do we share things? Because word of mouth, we recommend things consciously or unconsciously. It's always the same story. When we discuss things in a party, we share it, and whatever the motives, usually that's how the word spreads about a certain music, certain song, and we can share videos on Facebook about a song and certain artists and our likes, whatever we like. So instead of just linking to a page that is cool and we have information about it, if that's even available, why not just sell a product right away, or offer a product that can be bought, because then we don't need to search around and try to find that product, but we have immediate access. Another aspect of Facebook is search. So far when we go to search, we go to Google, because when we search something, we find it on Google or Wikipedia and so forth. And in Facebook, search is currently pretty weak, unless I haven't figured out how it works. But it's not as convenient that everybody just types in a word and we get a proper results. Of course, we give in a search, but we want that search to be a result on Facebook, not on another website, even though I understand in the search that's what comes up, other websites like Google or whatever, and not just Facebook. But we want that content to be found on Facebook. So that's another avenue Facebook could improve a lot. Now, the e-commerce application for Facebook is gigantic. The potential is gigantic. I mean, Facebook could literally hook up with Amazon.com, with eBay, and provide not only monetization on advertising, but also revenue share model. You know, it would be so cool. Like somebody recommends something about this TV or whatever, and suddenly at the option of the user, simply as a convenience, we roll over that link or over that picture and have on the side, on the right side or so, already windows that open up and show us, for instance, a deal of that TV or TVs at Best Buy or Amazon.com, eBay, and so forth. So there could be monetization in advertising, but also in the revenue share model. And or have coupons. You know, you go to Best Buy and you get so and so much off, or something like that. Or you buy it at Amazon and you get a special deal. And so there could be local businesses integrated. See, that's the fantastic thing on Facebook. You don't have to be general USA or this country, that country, but it can be localized. Like in the area, we're in Las Vegas, so let's say in Las Vegas, and the local business wants to advertise their electronic stuff. And it's just endless, you know. The revenue share model is so extensive and has so much potential that Facebook can become a much larger company than Google, unless Google does the same thing like Facebook. But I think that Facebook has, from the whole makeup of the database and the way it works, and as fast as it works, and is as interactive as it is, I think that Facebook has much more potential than that. Now, once again, let's look at the values. I mean, Facebook is at $40 billion today on August 17th, 2012, and Amazon is at $109 billion. Google at $220 billion, and eBay at $60 billion. Yahoo is only lower than Facebook, and that's at $17 billion. And then, of course, when we consider hardware and other things, then we go to Apple, and that's $602 billion.